Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently just about done with our frontier settling. It's been a while that we've been working on this, no doubt about it. And we'll have that done very shortly. The weird thing is, we're just not getting tile blocker clearance techs. Like, I think we got one. I don't know if that's just terrible luck or what. That's kind of wild. So I guess we'll go with like biology research speed. That's kind of thematic. That seems good. So that is absolutely fine. We are, of course, working towards unlocking the L cluster, and that will be a very big deal when we get that unlocked. We want to control the L cluster, and we shall control the L cluster. We're going to need another pair of gun batteries here, and then we'll get a target uplink computer here, I think. That will be absolutely wonderful. And I don't know where that was. That went away as I was going to check on it. That must have been Vanico. It must have been. We need to get a Cradle of Rebirth going here, and that will be absolutely fine. And like I said in the previous episode, it's interesting that we're not capped on the numbers of Cradles of Rebirth that we can make. I don't think those can go into specializations. So if we really wanted to optimize this, we should put a Cradle of Rebirth into every slot, and then as we specialize the worlds, start to remove them. Realistically. But that's a lot of biomass. But that will also eventually pay for itself when looking at it in a long-term sort of situation. So that's definitely interesting. Now, I want to check this continental world. We can colonize that for 1,000 and move that to a tropical world, and I do want to do so. So we're going to get that going. That is absolutely wonderful. We'll get a terraformation underway for that. And then we can start thinking about going through all of our existing worlds and checking for locations like this. Now, this is a pollinating world, and eventually we'll want to probably not have this be the case. But I'm thinking we put in more Cradles of Rebirth here, and that eats up our biomass very quickly, right? It's 400 biomass per each one of these that we put in, and that's going to be like 2,000 per planet. But that's going to significantly increase our population growth speed, which I think is probably worth doing. Because that will generate us more biomass and allow us to get through this overall more quickly. You can see here that we've got 4 biomass here. Is that indicating that we're getting 4 biomass, or rather 6 biomass now per month here? I think that's what that's indicating. Here we're getting 10, here we're getting 8, 7. This is 32. Interesting. Very interesting. So we've got 39 biomass pops here. We've got 8 biomass pops here. 9 biomass pops here. Yeah, we really, really do need to get more population growth going. I think that's what this is indicating to me. So that'll be fine. There's the juvenile harbingers, and we can now start research on the mature harbingers or the Grand Archive. Tile blocker clearance. We're getting the tile blocker clearance. Okay, so that'll be wonderful. We've got enough to get another Cradle of Rebirth going here. So I don't know if we're going to want to do this long term or not. Oh, we're full on our energy credits, and I just bought more energy credits. That was dumb. Okay, there we go. Problem solved. So yeah, we need more pop growth. That's very clear. In areas like this, we're still growing into our jobs. Like, we've got 1.1k forged symbionts at this moment. You can see we've got 94 brood symbionts. We've got 188 photosymbionts. These are not even numbers. And all of these produce even, like, multiples of 100, right? So we know for a fact that we need more population here to fill out those jobs. So that is absolutely a thing. Understood. It's going to take a lot of biomass, but I think that that's the way that we need to go here. So we can come over to Grundthirst and start working on this excavation site. That will be absolutely fine. And we're currently working in Kendari. That's okay. After we're done there, we can head over to Bors and build our mining stations. So that will be absolutely fine for now.
Growth continues.
And of course, we can start thinking about our harbingers. So, we've got just juvenile harbingers right now, and these are carriers. That's fine. They're also slightly shield heavy, which is odd. By default, they are definitely slightly shield heavy. I mean, acting as carriers, we don't necessarily mind them being afterburners, so that's probably fine. Neural implants, and we don't have any capacity to start growing them at this moment. So that's okay, and these are set up as picket ships. Interesting. So they're going to be on carrier implants. They stay at the maximum engagement range of their hangars. That is correct. Okay, so that sounds good. Now the question is, how many Harbingers do we want to have? Well, I want to take a look here. What do we got going on? We're lacking Maulers here, but we're not. This should actually be here. So each of these are at 90 of 130, and if we were to expand this, we would dramatically exceed our naval capacity. So at this point, I do want to add in some Harbingers. 10 Harbingers would actually kind of do the trick, but you can see the fleet power estimate of that, not too high, but I think this is fine for now. But I'm not going to start construction on these juvenile Harbingers just yet. That's going to be quite expensive, but more importantly, we need naval cap before we really want to get that going. So automated repair systems is really, really good. I think we'll take that. And then otherwise, we're just going to sit here for the moment, and this is
Growth continues.
I would like to get those Harbingers going eventually. This is anchorages. We definitely want to get 2 additional anchorages going in here, and then resource silos. So that'll be fine. And then we might have another one here. Yes. There we go. So we'll get more of those coming in. That'll give us some additional naval capacity. We are going to need
widened.
Okay, there's an L-Gate Insight that just came in. That looks good. Durasteel Carapaces. Now, we're currently forward deployed, and we don't have the capacity to go back to get upgrades without potentially significantly delaying. So I'm going to go for the next level of Starbase. That seems fine. Now, I do want to head up to Curus 3, and we want to get going on our Cradles of Rebirth. And we probably want to have our jobs be favorited that are brood symbionts here. Can we not favorite jobs? We can deprioritize jobs. How? Left click doesn't do it, right click doesn't do it. Click a job to favorite. I'm doing that. I want to prioritize the brood symbionts. Interesting. Maybe the game has to be unpaused? Or maybe this is just broken. That's a distinct possibility. I do want to get the brood symbionts to be favorited. That said, we do have 10 biomass pops, which is intriguing because I feel like these should be full. There's 200 workforce employed in this job out of a maximum of 200. Due to job efficiency penalties, it's underperforming, leading to -12 workforce. Gotcha. Okay, so that's... I wish it didn't display like this. I wish it showed us the actual number, and then when we moused over, it showed us the underperforming information. Now, this is because our habitability isn't maximized. That's fine. I don't mind it. I do want to get ourselves another Cradle of Rebirth going here. That's going to take a little while, but I think we should go through and get all of these Cradles of Rebirth going. So we can see now we're at +4 monthly pop growth. Now we're at +7. Yeah, this is definitely a big improvement. So we're now at 282 brood symbiont jobs. I think we can't select it because it's at maximum.
The wild
I think
grows
that's what we've got
wiser.
going on there. Okay, so tile blocker clearance is a thing. Naval cap. Let's go for naval cap. So can we clear anything here? No, that's an active volcano. Wait, we can clear that. We should be working on that. So I want to go through all of our tile blockers at this moment and clear any that we can, which we don't have a lot of tech for clearing these. That's understood. We can clear some, for sure. We can't clear this active volcano because that's being cleared already. That's fine. Massive glaciers. Yeah, get those cleared out. Toxic kelp in a lot of these worlds. Okay, so this is dense jungle, toxic kelp, ruined district. We can definitely take that out of there. What else do we have? Active volcano, we can remove that. And massive glacier. Fantastic. Active volcano here. This is good. This is not good, but we can't do anything about it. Massive glacier. And this one is going to be nothing at all. Fantastic. And then down in our frontier sector that we should probably do something about. Ooh, what's this? Once again, it went away the moment I hovered over that. It has to be because we just finished the terraformation. That has to be what's going on there. Okay, what else do we have here? Nothing to clear here. Nothing to clear here for now. Here there's an active volcano. Sounds great. We'll get that cleared off. And this is fine. This is fine, 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 and fine. Okay, perfect. So that's all we can do for now. Now we just finished up this world here. I'm going to put in a Cradle of Rebirth just to get it started, but I'm not going to focus on putting more Cradles of Rebirth in just yet. And of course, we're not going to be working on doing more terraformation because we're doing this experiment with our Cradles of Rebirth, right? So we're going to get this one going. That's minus 54. Events and other causes.
The wild grows wiser.
Interesting. I'm not sure what that event was, but there's our research station output done. Maybe this was where the pops for our new colony came from. I guess that's a possibility. So we've got antimatter metabolisms available here. And UV beam projectors? I mean, sure. We could go for that. That seems relatively fine for now. So what I'm interested in seeing here is what this population change ends up being here. +9 in this last month. Okay. That's
old growth fine. Cleared for new life.
Do we have anywhere where we can see our total population? Demographics. This looks good. 230 pops. That feels like a really low amount of pops. And we've also got these guys who are pre-sapients, and there's 300 of them.
The weeds have been pruned.
Well, we are growing our number of pops, but that does feel like a really, really low number of pops, to be honest. I don't think we have 300 pops.
Old growth cleared for new life.
We definitely don't. There's 300 jobs right here. Okay, so that's a little odd. Maybe this is still working off of the old pop numbers, which is like 1,000 less, which would mean, or no, 100 less, which would mean that we'd have like 30,000 pops. That would feel a lot, no, it would be about 3,000 pops. That'd feel a lot more accurate, for sure. Okay, so we gained some clues on that archaeological dig, so that's good. And of course, we've got this all completed at this point. So this one, we can't build any additional Cradles of Rebirth here, so we're going to have to leave that one be. But here, we absolutely can start building some Cradles of Rebirth. Our population is just growing too slowly for right now, so I think we need to get these going and then slowly, slowly work on shifting them over after those are built. So that'll be fine. Absolutely no problem there.
Been pruned.
But biomass is our limiting factor on that, which is not necessarily surprising. Minus 15. Events and other causes. Interesting. Base growth is decreased because of low population. Yeah, we're working on it. So that's absolutely something that we will be working on here.
The weeds have been pruned.
I'd love to get another one of these Cradles of Rebirth going in. It's interesting that we have to essentially spam these out, then specialize, then remove them after we've built up a good pop amount. That's a lot of biomass. That's a lot of biomass. But look at that. Our biomass is definitely increasing from this. So this is the right call, I think. I think there's no doubt about that. So I would like to start working on reinforcing these. Our naval capacity is going to need to come up. It's going to be 30 per fleet here. So this is going to be a grand total of 90 naval cap. So we need to be at 630 is what we need there. So that's going to be a little bit before we get that, for sure. Or we could just exceed the naval cap and be like, we'll deal with it. Which is what I'm going to do. So we're going to get that going. We're still lacking a little bit in food. I'm going to buy in 10,000 food because we have so much trade in stock. I don't mind. We're then going to reinforce this fleet, but this fleet is still lacking a little bit here. So we need a little more food. There's all of our trade value gone, and that's not necessarily surprising. But all of these fleets are now at full strength, so that's good. We're going to be exceeding our naval cap, that's for sure. And our power projection isn't all that high, but honestly, I don't care about influence at this moment, which is kind of wild. That's not normal. Okay, let's get this Cradle of Rebirth going in, and then we'll get one more Cradle of Rebirth over here. But our overall biomass is definitely going up. The Agarian League is very angry at us. They have been for a while now. I'm not too concerned about it. So this Crucible world here, there's not too much we can do here. -8 due to events and other causes. I wish I knew what these events and other causes were. But maybe that's migration. That's a distinct possibility. I would think it would say if that was migration, though. And not just classify it under other causes. Because that's a significant difference, right? No doubt about it. I do want to get another Cradle of Rebirth going here. We are about 1 month away from getting this at this point. But this is definitely increasing our biomass production by a pretty significant margin, actually. Despite the tooltips being a little bit iffy about how all this works, it's definitely functioning. So that looks good. We just got Conquer Nature, and we're going to do Correctional Bisection. Excellent. And what do we got here? Resources from jobs is pretty good. We're going to go with that. And this is going to be naval capacity plus 2%. Yes, please. We are going to need that. So the Agarian League rivaled us, which is not surprising in the slightest. I want to come down and rival them back, potentially. There we go. Sounds good. So that's absolutely fine. Now we've got all of our Cradles of Rebirth here. No Cradles of Rebirth to build here. I'm going to build one here, but we need biomass. So we're going to have to take forward here for a little while. That seems absolutely fine. And we are eventually going to see our Harbingers start to show up over here. We can't get them upgraded.
A call from the stars.
So that's noted. A research agreement from these guys. This is very in our favor. We agreed to that. So that is absolutely wonderful. Yeah, our main issue is I just didn't understand how the pop system works. That's the primary issue at this moment. So that's understood. UV beam projector has been finished. Let's go for research alternatives.
Growth continues.
Okay, so we just finished up with this construction ship. Where does that need to go next? Do we have anywhere for it to go? No, we don't. Okay. We'll just leave it be for now. That's fine. We could destroy it and not pay the upkeep, but I don't care. It's fine. So out over this direction, of course, we're going to need to put in a Cradle of Rebirth. We need the biomass for it. I had assumed when I was starting this game that this would work like it did previously, where you build one and then you're planet limited, but that is not how this is set up, and it's not how this is intended to work either. This is a small amount of pop growth, and yeah, there we go. Events and other causes. I'm assuming this is migration. It has to be migration. Right? We're not getting any event. There's not a reason for that to happen. There's no storms. There's no event popping up. It has to be migration. I can't think of another reason. So there's that. Ah, that was blocked. Okay. We'll get that continued. So that seems absolutely fine. I was like, why is this yellow? It was yellow because it was blocked. Oh, there's this as well. So what do we want to do? We'll prioritize data retrieval, I think. There we go. So we got a trade manifesto. Not all that useful. Keep digging. Okay, we have a lot of these archaeological events here, apparently, and there we go. Now we're caught up with them. It just wasn't going to the next one, which was interesting. I guess that takes a moment to tick. Sure. So we've got a lot of worlds to build a lot of cradles of rebirth on, that's for sure. So this world, we just need to build a bunch of them. So +2 here, and then if we look here, +3, +2, +12, +3, +12, +2. Okay. So that's understood. -14 due to events and other causes. It has to be migration. What's our migration policy? Do we have a migration policy? I mean, not really. Yeah, that has to be interplanet migration. I'm 99% certain about that. If I'm wrong about that, well, I'll be sad, but I'm pretty sure that's what we've got going on there, which is fine. That would mean that the pops are going, you know, somewhere. Somewhere theoretically useful, even. So that's okay. So at this point, we're still working down over here. We need another Cradle of Rebirth going in. The good news is we're now to the point where we can build one of these almost every 4 months. This is definitely dramatically increasing our biomass production, which is good. Eventually, though, we're going to run out of things to spend our biomass on, and we're not going to care about this, which is why we're going to remove these buildings later, once we have a good amount of population built up. What is this? Oh, the Union of Isk Center wants to form a federation with us. We are very, very, very in favor of this. Absolutely, we agree to this. These guys are the powerhouse of the galaxy, militarily speaking. A new federation, and we're a founding member. Excellent. And we found the curators at long last. What do you know about the L-Gates? Yes, please give us an L-Gate insight. Okay, so we got an L-Gate insight from them, and then we need to talk to them again, but for now, that's fine. Zeracorp, hi Zeracorp, and then we've got these guys as well. Our collective greets you in friendship. Okay, so the Union of Isk Center is now part of our federation, and they're the leader of the Coalition of Interlinked Systems, which is fine, and that is absolutely wonderful at this point. We are eventually going to work on some diplomatic stuff. We're losing Federation XP, and I do want to assign a representative here. Okay, do we want to assign more representatives? Actually, for now, I think this is okay. So the Union of Isk Center, oh, this is economy-based. Interesting. Our economy is very small because of the changes to how population
A call
works.
from the stars.
We're working on it. We'll get there. They want to give us 170 energy credits for the localized Aurora Borealis. And they're offering us Tales of a Mercenary. Sure. I don't care. That's fine. So that's absolutely A-okay, and we've started to get some of our Harbingers in out over this way. Perfect. So that's looking great, and we are going to be opening up the L cluster eventually. We're going to need science ships and our construction ship available for that, so let's move our construction ship over here. And then this science ship, once it's done with this archaeological dig, is going to head over to Hope's End. We're going to have this opened up pretty soon at this point. Surveyor is fine. Sure. That all looks good for the moment. Now we're full on influence. There's not much that we can spend our influence on. I feel like we should be able to spend our influence on the Federation, to be honest. But we kind of can't. They haven't invited their vassals in either. That's interesting. That's very interesting. And it's on rotation succession. Okay, sure. That seems fine. They also haven't put any representatives in here. So that's interesting. The Interstellar Favarian Conglomerate insulted us. That seems ambitious, considering who we're allied to. Like, Yeah, that's going to be a problem for them. But I do want to head down over here and continue to work on these Cradles of Rebirth. That's going to be very, very useful for us. So we're just going to continue to push
New
through
knowledge
on
blooms.
several Cradles of Rebirth. There's some more naval cap coming in. We could go for Mature Harbingers, and that's probably not a bad idea to get started on. And we're not terribly over our naval cap at this point. So I'm reasonably fine with it. But we do have an awful lot of Cradles of Rebirth to build. That's for sure. Now, if we go in here, we can see it does seem to be prioritizing filling the brood symbiont jobs. Or, well, just these jobs in general. There's 3,000 workforce employed here. What's the total population of this planet? I wish it told us that. That'd be nice. I do know that they're reworking this screen again in, I think, the next update I read, so hopefully that fixes some of the weirdness that I've experienced with this. That would be nice. But we do know for a fact that we need more Cradles of Rebirth, and we're going to continue to work on those. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're just going to pump through those Cradles of Rebirth. We've already almost doubled our biomass production here. Offer association status? Sure. I don't care. This is fine. This is these guys down over here. We've already almost doubled our biomass production, and that's very good for us. We need more. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.